Good morning, everyone. Each of us faces two kinds of battles in life, the ones the world sees, and the ones only we can feel. The world talks about competition, success, and achievement. But the greatest victory any of us can ever win is not against another person, it's against ourselves. Every morning when you wake up, the first battle begins, the battle between your doubts and your dreams, between your excuses and your goals, between fear and faith. The truth is, your greatest enemy is not out there. It's the voice inside that whispers, "You can't." Winning the inner battle means taking control of that voice. It means pushing yourself when no one is watching, believing in your worth when others doubt it, and staying focused when distractions try to pull you away. It's the discipline to do what's right over what's easy, and to keep going even when it hurts. Remember, no one becomes great by accident. Champions, leaders, and dreamers all fight this same invisible war. The difference is that they refuse to surrender to the weaker version of themselves. So the next time your mind says, "Give up," answer back, "Watch me." The next time fear says, "You can't handle it," respond, "I was built for this." Winning the inner battle is not about perfection. It's about persistence. Every small victory, every time you say no to laziness, yes to growth, and yes to purpose, you strengthen your inner warrior. Because once you win inside, the world outside will follow. Many people spend their lives trying to overcome the obstacles around them, unfair situations, difficult people, lack of resources, or the judgments of others. But the truth is, these external challenges are rarely what hold us back. The biggest battles are not fought in the world around us. They're fought within our own minds. Your mind can either be your greatest ally or your greatest enemy. It's the voice that can push you forward, or the one that convinces you to quit before you even start. Think about it. Every time you hesitate to take a chance, every time you doubt your ability, every time you let fear dictate your actions, you are losing to the enemy within. This inner enemy disguises itself in many forms: procrastination, self-doubt, insecurity, or even the desire for perfection. It tells you, wait until you're ready, or you're not good enough, or what if you fail. These thoughts are powerful because they sound reasonable, but they're the very things that stop you from discovering your true potential. The world outside might criticize you, but that criticism only has power if you agree with it inside. When you learn to master your inner world, your emotions, thoughts, and self-belief, you become unshakable. No setback can destroy someone who has already defeated their inner doubts. Winning the inner battle begins with awareness. You must recognize that the mind creates barriers far stronger than any external wall. Once you identify that the real struggle lies within, you take back control. Instead of blaming circumstances, you start shaping them. Instead of waiting for confidence to appear, you build it from your own courage. When you understand that your internal state determines your external success, you stop wasting energy fighting the world and start investing it in strengthening yourself. That's when true growth begins. Every single morning, before you even step out of bed, the battle begins. It's not a fight against the world or the people around you. It's a silent struggle between the version of you that wants comfort and the version that craves growth. The moment you open your eyes, your mind starts negotiating. Just 5 more minutes of sleep, I'll start tomorrow, or I don't feel like it today. That moment, the first few minutes of your day, often determines who wins the inner battle. If you give in to comfort, the day starts with defeat. But if you rise with purpose, you've already claimed your first victory. Success doesn't happen in grand moments. It's built in these small, invisible choices that shape your mindset every single day. The truth is, the world rewards those who can conquer their mornings. Getting up early, staying disciplined, and starting with intention set the tone for everything that follows. When you control the start of your day, you control the direction of your life. Each morning gives you a fresh opportunity to prove to yourself that you are stronger than your excuses. The alarm clock isn't just a signal to wake up. It's a challenge from life asking, how badly do you want it? Will you choose to hit snooze, or will you rise and take command of your destiny? The inner battle doesn't wait for the perfect moment. It begins in the ordinary routines of life. It's fought in the decision to go to the gym when you're tired, to study when you'd rather scroll through your phone, to plan your goals instead of wasting time complaining. Every time you choose discipline over delay, you are training your mind to serve your purpose, not your comfort. Winning each morning doesn't mean being perfect. It means starting with intention, no matter how small the action. Whether it's making your bed, writing your goals, meditating, or simply being grateful, these are not just habits. They are acts of mental strength. They remind you that you are in control, not your moods, not your fears, not your comfort zone. When you win the morning, you set yourself up to win the day, and when you win enough days, you begin to win your life. Inside each of us lives a constant stream of thoughts, a voice that never stops speaking. Sometimes it encourages us, reminds us of our dreams, and fuels our ambition. But other times it criticizes, doubts, and discourages. This voice can either be your greatest source of power or your biggest obstacle. The difference lies in whether you control it or it controls you. The inner voice often reflects our fears, past experiences, and insecurities. It whispers things like, "You're not smart enough, you'll never make it," or "You always fail." And when we listen to it without questioning it, we start to believe it. Over time, those thoughts shape our identity and limit our potential. The truth is, you become what you tell yourself, not what others say about you. Learning to control the inner voice is about taking back mental authority. It's about catching those negative thoughts the moment they appear and replacing them with truth and strength. For example, when your mind says, "I can't handle this," answer back, "I've handled worse." When it says, "I'm not ready," remind yourself, "No one ever feels ready, but I'm willing to start." Your mind listens to your own words more than anyone else's. That's why self-talk is not just motivation, it's mental programming. Every time you repeat empowering words, you are rewiring your brain to believe in your capability. Over time, that belief becomes confidence, and that confidence becomes action. Remember, even the most successful people hear the same doubts and fears you do. They've simply trained themselves to respond differently. They don't silence their inner critic by pretending it doesn't exist. They silence it by out-talking it, outworking it, and proving it wrong. Controlling your inner voice is not about blind positivity. It's about balance. It's okay to acknowledge fear, but you don't have to obey it. It's okay to feel doubt, but don't let it make your decisions for you. The key is to speak to yourself the way you would speak to someone you love, with honesty, belief, and encouragement. When you master your inner voice, you gain the ability to stay calm under pressure, focused in chaos, and hopeful in uncertainty. You become your own motivator, your own coach, your own source of strength. And that's when the real transformation begins, when your thoughts stop tearing you down and start lifting you up. Many people wait for motivation to strike before they act. They tell themselves, "I'll do it when I feel like it," or "I'll start when I'm inspired." But the truth is, motivation is unreliable. It's like the weather, it changes constantly. Some days you'll feel unstoppable, and other days you'll feel like doing nothing at all. If you depend on motivation alone, your progress will always rise and fall with your emotions. Discipline, on the other hand, is solid. It doesn't rely on mood or comfort. It relies on commitment. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. It's the ability to show up on the days when your mind tells you to stay in bed, to push forward when every excuse seems valid, and to keep your promises to yourself even when no one is watching. Motivation starts the journey, but discipline finishes it. Think about the people who reach greatness: athletes, entrepreneurs, leaders, artists. They don't wake up inspired every day, they wake up trained. They've built habits that carry them through the days when inspiration disappears. Their success is not based on how they feel, it's based on what they do consistently. Discipline is the bridge between goals and results. You can have the biggest dream in the world, but without discipline, it remains just that, a dream. Every act of discipline, no matter how small, builds momentum. When you choose to follow through day after day, you begin to rewire your brain for consistency and strength. Eventually, what once felt difficult becomes automatic. The secret to discipline is not perfection, but persistence. You will have days when you fall short, that's natural. What matters is that you get back up again and again. Each time you push past resistance, you're not just completing a task, you're building the kind of character that success demands. And here's the beauty of discipline: the more you practice it, the less you need to rely on motivation. Action creates energy, and energy creates motivation. So instead of waiting to feel ready, start. Instead of waiting to feel inspired, move. Because once you begin, your effort will generate the very drive you thought you needed. In the end, motivation may light the spark, but discipline keeps the fire burning. It's not about doing it when it's easy, it's about doing it because it matters. There will be moments in life when everything seems to work against you, when your plans fall apart, when your effort feels invisible, and when the voice of doubt grows louder than ever. These are the moments that separate those who wish from those who win. Because anyone can keep going when things are easy, but true strength is revealed when you choose to stand tall in the storm and refuse to surrender. Refusing to surrender doesn't mean pretending everything is fine. It means acknowledging your pain, your fatigue, your frustration, and deciding to move forward anyway. It's the quiet decision to take one more step when your legs are heavy, to keep believing when evidence gives you none, to rise one more time when you've already fallen 100. The path to any worthwhile goal is never straight. You'll face rejection, failure, criticism, and self-doubt. These are not signs to stop, they are signs that you're pushing limits most people never reach. Every challenge is an invitation to grow stronger. Every setback, a chance to test your endurance. The people who achieve greatness are not the ones who never fall, they are the ones who refuse to stay down. When you refuse to surrender, you turn pain into power. You start to realize that struggle is not your enemy, it's your teacher. Each obstacle you overcome builds a new layer of resilience, preparing you for the next. And every time you keep going, when everything in you wants to quit, you prove to yourself that you are far more capable than you imagine. Refusing to surrender is not about being fearless, it's about moving forward in spite of fear. It's understanding that fear loses its power when you take action. It's knowing that progress often hides behind persistence, that one more try, one more day, one more ounce of faith could be the turning point you've been waiting for. The moment you decide you will not quit, something changes inside you. Your mindset shifts from if to when, from maybe to definitely. You stop negotiating with your limits and start breaking them. You stop waiting for the perfect time and start creating it. Because in the end, the world doesn't reward those who start strong, it rewards those who stay strong. And staying strong begins with a single, powerful choice. No matter what happens, I will not surrender. In a world that constantly glorifies big achievements, the promotions, the trophies, the breakthroughs, it's easy to forget that greatness is not built in leaps, but in small, consistent steps. The truth is, the biggest wins in life are the result of thousands of small victories that often go unnoticed. Learning to celebrate those small victories is how you build momentum, confidence, and resilience. Every time you overcome an excuse, every time you choose effort over comfort, and every time you show up when you could have given up, that's a victory. It may not look impressive to anyone else, but it's proof that you're growing stronger from within. Small victories are the building blocks of success, and when you recognize them, you remind yourself that progress is happening, even if it's not yet visible. Too often, we delay happiness. We tell ourselves, "I'll celebrate when I reach my goal," or "I'll be proud when I'm successful." But if you only allow yourself to feel proud at the finish line, you rob yourself of the motivation needed to get there. The journey is long and sometimes exhausting. That's why it's essential to pause and acknowledge the little wins along the way, because they are signs that you're moving forward, step by step. Celebrating small victories isn't about arrogance or complacency. It's about gratitude and awareness. It's about recognizing that progress, no matter how minor, is still progress. It's about understanding that success is not a single event, it's a series of disciplined choices made daily. When you take time to appreciate those moments, you re-energize your spirit and remind yourself that the effort is worth it. This mindset transforms how you experience growth. Instead of feeling frustrated by how far you still have to go, you begin to feel empowered by how far you've already come. You learn to see effort as success, not just outcomes. You start to value persistence over perfection. When you celebrate small victories, you train your brain to associate progress with positivity. That creates a powerful cycle. The more you celebrate, the more motivated you become to keep going. Over time, those small wins accumulate, and what once seemed impossible becomes inevitable. So, don't overlook the quiet moments of progress. Celebrate finishing that workout, completing that chapter, resisting that temptation, or simply getting through a tough day. Every small victory is a reminder that you are improving, evolving, and moving closer to the person you were meant to become. Everything you achieve in life, every goal reached, every dream realized, every challenge overcome begins within you. The world you experience on the outside is a reflection of the strength, clarity, and peace you build on the inside. That's why the most powerful victories are not those that happen in public, but the ones that happen in silence when you conquer doubt, fear, and negativity within yourself. Outer success, the visible kind that others see, is only the result of countless unseen inner battles you've already won. When you develop focus, discipline, and emotional control, your actions begin to align with your goals. You stop reacting to life and start creating it. You stop being tossed around by circumstances, and instead you shape them through purpose and confidence. Winning inside means mastering your thoughts, emotions, and habits. It means training your mind to stay calm under pressure, to see opportunities where others see obstacles, and to hold faith when results haven't yet appeared. Once you've built that kind of inner stability, no external setback can truly defeat you. You may stumble, but you will never stay down, because your strength doesn't depend on conditions. It comes from conviction. Inner victory also brings clarity. When your mind is free from noise from fear, insecurity, and self-doubt, you can see what truly matters. You stop chasing validation and start pursuing purpose. You stop comparing your journey to others and focus instead on your own growth. That clarity becomes your compass, guiding your actions with confidence and peace. Outer success follows naturally because people who win the inner battle operate differently. They make decisions based on vision, not emotion. They act with consistency, not impulse. They keep their energy aligned with their goals, regardless of external distractions. This kind of inner power radiates outward. It influences how you speak, how you carry yourself, and how others respond to you. The truth is, you can't fake inner victory. You can pretend to be confident for a while, but real confidence comes only from facing your inner struggles and overcoming them. Once you do, you no longer need to prove yourself to anyone. Your presence speaks for you. You become grounded, steady, and unstoppable. When you win inside, the world outside begins to change, not because the world suddenly becomes easier, but because you become stronger. Your mindset, attitude, and energy shape your reality. That's why the greatest achievement is not reaching the top of the mountain, but becoming the kind of person who can climb it. So in the end, the greatest war we will ever fight isn't out there in the world, it's inside our own hearts and minds. Every day, life will test your courage, your patience, your faith, and your determination. But remember this: you are stronger than your fear, braver than your doubt, and greater than your circumstances. Winning the inner battle is not about becoming perfect, it's about becoming persistent. It's about showing up for yourself every single day, no matter how heavy the fight feels. Because when you learn to master your thoughts, discipline your emotions, and believe in your worth, no challenge outside of you can ever defeat you. The truth is, victory doesn't happen in a single moment. It happens in small, quiet decisions made over time. And when you keep winning those moments, when you keep choosing courage over comfort, faith over fear, and purpose over excuses, something amazing happens. The world begins to reflect the strength you've built within. So fight the good fight, not against others, but for yourself. Rise above the noise, silence the doubts, and lead with conviction. Because once you win the inner battle, every other battle becomes winnable.